What's up, Rockstars? Today I have a surprise for you. This is going to be really cool because this is probably the smallest package I've ever gotten from this company. And that's not to say anything negative at all, since they make big games, right? And so this is, and you've seen on the thumbnail obviously, but this is the new game from Dragori Games. Let's see if this box shows it. Yeah, right there, Tanares Expeditions. So excited to see this one. This one is specifically called the Central Sea. So there's that. Incidentally, that's not the biggest box. So let's see what else we have in here. What is in here? Obviously, prototype. Everything is a prototype. Oh, this is just minis, I imagine. Yep, there we go. Good old minis. Love it. All right, they make some good minis too. Because they are from Starry Games. Starry Games makes really good minis. They did Limbo. They've done the other Tanares stuff. They've done several stuff, I think, for Dimension Games. And now they're doing this Tanares Expeditions. All right, let's go ahead and just jump into it here. Let's go ahead. We're going to put that to the side. Minis will come later, of course. And that means this is just the game components here, really. You know, try and be smart about how it opens, but we'll see. At the end of the day, it's going to open how it's going to open, right? Can't get too picky, really. All right, but maybe, this maybe. There we go. This might actually be enough, just like this. Let's see if that is enough. Maybe. Nope, probably not quite enough. No, well, maybe. Oh, look at that. See, you just have to give up. Just give up and it'll work. All right, there we are. Look at this. Sealed and everything. Quite nice, quite nice. Obviously love the art. I think the only part about all of this I don't like is necessarily his hand. That being said, in person, this looks a lot better. The finger with the blood there can sometimes look like another finger, and so it looks kind of weird, but actually it looks just fine how it is. Now that I'm looking at it in person, so that kind of helps. Great looking ship there. The back, they just have the back of them. See the dragon there, so that's fun. Have a QR code. I'm sure you can go ahead and scan that if you want. This is obviously the sample box is what they're calling it. Never ceases to amaze me how many different ways we can say this is not the final product. But it's not. That being said, this often lets you know how serious a company is, right? When it comes to how prepared are they to actually make the campaign. Having a good prototype can often help with that. Not totally, but it at least lets you know kind of where they're at when it comes to their means and when it comes to where the game is itself, right? And when it comes to reviewing games and looking at games early, having a physical product really does help. Not everything translates well to online. All right, so there's the normal box there. Move that aside. Wow, this is nice. Okay, so we'll start with the rule book. All right, let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, on the back, they already have an index. It is alphabetical, so that is nice. I do not see any that have repeated pages. Now, it could just be that it's laid out that way. I'm not sure. But either way, that's kind of nice. Also, I like the target or terrain and stuff like that, conditions, so you kind of know what you're looking at there as well. We're going to go to the front here now. So we have an introduction, we have a table of contents, we have a component list with the pictures and the name of it, but it doesn't have quantity quite yet. Now that kind of makes sense for a prototype. I'm actually kind of okay with that because obviously the final product could change and it's kind of pointless to do that just for the prototype necessarily also. Okay, it looks like the map is on the spiral bound book that's right here, so that'll be kind of cool to play on. It's got some kind of tracker here and otherwise various tokens and cards for the most part. Here you have the combat roles. It wouldn't be Tanares without combat roles. So we have the striker, the healer, the tank, and the controller. I'm assuming the actual campaign, which, by the way, I'll link it down to the description below, will involve various either expansions to this or maybe some more alternate heroes or roles or something, but maybe not. Maybe they're keeping it really small here. I'm not exactly sure. This is obviously smaller than normal. This is standalone, which is kind of nice. It looks like a lot of the rules are pretty similar to Tanares, so it probably plays fairly similar, and instead is just more focused on, you know, you know, like it doesn't have the skirmish mode and stuff like that, right? It's just this expansion here. Improvement cards, villains. Yeah, this is laid out pretty nice. I like this. Initiative track. We got some detailed guide to start playing there, so that's kind of nice. Got some difficulty levels. Sweet. Okay, well, there's a rulebook. It's better than some final rulebooks I've had. All right, next up we have this quest book. Now, obviously this is a bare bones version of it. On the back it looks like we just got some art. Their art is always amazing. I've always really appreciated their art. I think it looks great. Okay, so here we got some more art. Crumbs and Squawk. I like them. I like them. I'm a fan. And then here we have a mission, Blink Island. So what this is, and it has the grid here, and it looks like a whole lot of different terrain and stuff like that as well. Encounter 1, Encounter 2. Then we are moving further inland by the looks of it. We got Encounter 3 and Encounter 4. And it looks like that is it. Just a little trial here for this prototype. Very cool. All right. Next up, we do have some tokens. Now, these are wrapped, which is actually kind of nice, because there's probably, what, at least 2 boards here maybe? And that just allows them to know that, hey, I got both boards. They didn't accidentally combine them or anything like that. These bags are kind of nice to have that. But my goodness, apparently I can't open the darn thing. There we are. Now I can open it. Knives help. Come on. Oh, man, how difficult could I have made this on myself? All right, there we are. Okay, so we got the big tracker here. Now, again, obviously prototype, so I'm looking at this to try and just kind of see things I might notice ahead of time, but honestly, none of this is necessarily final as well, right? This cardboard might not be final. That being said, it is actually quite sturdy. There's almost no give when I squeeze it, which is nice. It's not squishy at all, so the layers should be pretty compact. It is smooth along all of this too, which is very nice, so there's not like a lot of fraying or anything like that. Yeah, so it looks good. It's all shiny. So there is a little bit of reflection. I'll have this as you can see, there's a light there and there's a light there. So I have quite a bit of light on it. And honestly, I'm not seeing a lot of reflection in my eyes. So that's kind of nice. Also, light's pretty flat. So that's cool. All right, then it looks like we do have some standees here that are kind of fun. It seems kind of small, actually. I wonder if the standees are smaller than the minis. It'll be kind of interesting to see. But we do have some standees here. I don't know if we have any standee holders or not. And it looks like we have some, at least one token here for the plus 15. Then over here, some more standees. We got some chest tokens. We got some hexagon tokens. Everything's punching out extremely clean. Honestly, if this was the final product, might be, it might not be, quality-wise, I'd be completely happy with this. This is very nice. Again, it doesn't have that linen finish, so it is a little bit shinier, but like I said, I'm not really getting a lot of reflection into my eyes, at least, so that's kind of nice. We have these small little ones as well. They are one-sided, where one's green and one is purple. And then some doubloons or coins or whatever, right? So we got some of that too. All right. That's it for tokens. Don't need to show them all off. I'm going to keep these standees handy, though, and see what else I can glean from here. So, all right. So in here, it looks like we do have some standee holders. So before we move on, let me go ahead and finish up the standee portion of this video. Again, they do have some minis here, too, that I'll be looking at. Of course, again, prototype, of course. All right, so actually we got a few of these, and it looks like we have a few of these. And what the difference is, I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure here. But let's go ahead and take a look. I'm assuming maybe like a bad guy and good guy. I don't know. Either way, that holds just fine. Again, prototype, of course. And then I suspect the colored ones are for the various classes. But then that goes like that. Front and back looks fine. Custom to the art. Now shiny will definitely show. It looks like there's a tiny bit of a pinch point. But honestly, nothing too bad. So again, even if this is final, yeah, not bad at all actually. Seems to come apart okay, do all that okay. Okay, we got one die here. One just non-branded 20-sided die. Can roll that. Rolls like a 20-sided die. Okay, we do got a few cards here. So we'll look at these. And then the only thing else. This is kind of nice, by the way. They got like a foam thing in here and junk. Like, again, not too bad storage either. Okay, that being said, we do got some cards, and then we got some minis. And that's it, guys. I'm digging this smaller package. Really am. All right, well, let's look at the big ones first. Those are more fun anyway, right? Bigger's always better. All right. So we have a Captain Krog here. He is a tank. Let me zoom in a little bit more for you. All right, so we have Captain Krog here. He's a tank. C35 health, 8 defense, 5 movement, 3 of whatever that is. I like the back art, so you can see him a little bit bigger there. But it is cut off a little bit, so you actually see more here. So if you're painting him and you want to know his watermelon striped pants, you can see him there more than here. And then he has passive power. Then here we have Captain Marva, the controller. So here she is, and again, art right there. Then you have Captain Doro. They're all captains. Oh, hopefully they're not all on the same ship. They're going to start arguing. Passive power is Mob. And there's that right there. Okay, and then we have Captain Marin. I don't know. Passive power is Hope. So there's that one as well. Okay, so those are cool. Now here we have some player aids. We have 3 of them. They all look like they have different stuff. So quite a bit of player aid here. It's both good and bad, right? It means there's a lot to look at. There's a random here. There's a lot to look up, but it also means that you're not, hopefully, digging into the rule book for every little thing. So you have some conditions here, along with some notes like token stack, meaning their effects add up. Kind of nice. How to create the initiative track, what the different terrain is, reactions, so prime actions, all the good Tanares stuff we're used to. And then a quest card 1. Looks like this one you do have a agree or agree with either Liana or Crumbs. And then you'll read based off of what your choice is there. So some RPG stuff as well. Wouldn't be Tanares otherwise, right? Right? Okay. Go big to small. So next up is the medium size cards. All right. There we go. Okay. Looks like here we have initiative and characters. Then we have the cards for the individual characters here. And then you have some, looks like level up stuff perhaps, and then a boss card. So let's now dive into it from the front. Okay, so here's the boss perks. So they have different perks that they can have. That's kind of cool. Here's some of the different abilities the striker can have. Deadly Blade, Vengeful Fury, Tactician, Guardian. Then the tank can have Guardian, Fortified Titan, Indomitable, Defender. And then the healer can have Holy Priest, Commander, Divine Avatar. The controller can have Curse Weaver, Destruction Bringer, Hex Master. And now here are the individual characters. So Captain Krog, for instance, has Bone Armor and Regeneration. He has Ghost Lance and Unholy Barrier for ultimate attacks. Then Captain Marine here has Healing Water, Blessing of the Sea, Healing Rain, and Reverse Damage. Captain Doro here has Heart Strike, Break Armor, Assassinate, and Lethal Blade. I do like, by the way, the color glow. It just really sells what color this is, right? Like this one versus, you know, like this one isn't a huge difference, right? These look fairly close together, right? Just besides the symbol. It helps that the character is there, right? But if you look at like these all look pretty much the same, except for the bottom has that color splash. So at least the color splash is there. But these right here have really nice. I like the like glowy effect they have. It kind of reminds me of like a cool RPG where you get a cool weapon that like glows. Anyway, and then the controller here has planar blast, tentacles, fireball, and stun. Now for enemies, looks like we got some skeletons. They have their stats here. Everything's easily readable. It all is printed nice. In fact, these do seem to have a kind of a linen finish to it, so they're not nearly as shiny. I don't know if that's necessarily means that they're closer to production than quality than the other ones. But either way, it's very nice. And we got some pirates. We got some sentinels. We got some goblins. Looks fantastic. Love them. And then your initiative cards for your characters. And that's it for the big cards. Okay, we'll go to the small cards and then minis. Honestly, so far, this is a nice little self-contained game. I'm digging it. I think that's awesome. Okay. So here we have a whole bunch of sea curses. Let's go ahead and take a look at those. You have stuff like, let me zoom in a little bit more for these small ones. There you go. Probably a bit too much. I want to say in camera. Okay. Wrath of the Oceans. So as you can see, you have the target and then red and blue, what they do there. Wrath of the Sea, Wrath of the Oceans, Wrath of the Sea, Power of the Depths, Dark Resistance, Black Fog, Unholy Ground, Humility, Affliction, Pandemy, and Tempest of Ruin. Yeah, those don't sound like great curses to have. Okay, then we have, looks like the different improvements for the different classes here. Not going to read all of them. We'll take a look at a few. Improved passive power, advanced tactics, desperate assault. This is for the striker, last stand defense. Then you have stuff like the heart strike or fortification, precision, overkill, lifesteal. Okay. Then for the healer, you have improved passive power. That seems to be a generic one. Aura of might, life bringer, quickened healing, unbreakable spirit. And then you have precision, heroic resolve, tide of renewal, barrier of waves. For the controller, you have then improved passive power again, targeted blast, bite of the depths, punishment, power spells. Precision seems to be pretty common here. Fortification, power wave. Okay, for the tank, we have stuff like taunt and opportunist and toughened master, resilient defense, blessing of vitality, aura of pain, and bodyguard. So some look universal and some look quite unique. So that's kind of cool. I like the difference there. Okay, now we have some elite villains. That'll be blue or red. Looks like it adds some adjustment to their stats. And then it looks like we have some chest items. What kind of items are we looking at here? We got healing rum. I mean, what else would it do for a pirate? Heal for 8. Minor healing rum. Power rum. Protective rum. It's all rum instead of potions. Fire trap. A mimic. Oh no. Well, honestly, that's pretty fun. I dig that. But you know what's more fun? Minis. Minis are more fun. Let's look at minis. All right. Again, hopefully this is a pretty easy open. They do a nice job kind of making this easy on me, really. It looks like, yep, typical Starry games are going to have like this really nice, come on, maybe I can get it out, maybe not. Almost like briefcase kind of thing. Well, looks like we're going to have to go a little crafty here. All right. Honestly, putting this in bubble wrap is kind of overkill, but you know, whatever. Never be too careful, right? Never. This and bubble wrap seems kind of funny. The Starry Games, they do a great job. I personally recommended them, and I'm kind of happy about it too. They really do a good job. Now, obviously, like any manufacturer, you get what you pay for, right? And so if you're not willing to put the money towards it, you're not going to get that great of minis from it. There are some that have limits, of course, and different prices for set quality, but at the same time, if you want good minis, you put the effort into it. That means a lot of back and forth with them. It means getting good plastic. It means getting good molds. It means all of that. And I must say, I think Dragori Games has done a good job with that. Now, all that being said, what you're about to see, obviously, not final. All right, so obviously I got to start with the big one, right? So let's not beat around the bush at all. Let's just jump right in. You guys know you want to see the dragon. Wouldn't be a Dragori Games without a dragon, I feel. I think that's about required at this point for them. All right. Let's see if I can open this up. It's like in its own little bag. That's adorable. Okay. Looks like it arrived pretty good. So I'm excited. Jeez, that tape is hardcore. All right. Now it looks like this is only part of it. So let's see if I can't get to the other part. Is that... Ooh, we can smell the resin. Aha, aha. It's in two parts because it has two different plastics. That's fun. Okay, looks like it came out great. Very cool, very cool. All right, so as you can see here, while I do believe this is resin, maybe. It's not 3D printed or anything like that. It does have Tanares there on the side. Let me zoom in a little bit. We'll zoom in just a tiny bit. All right, so also you can see a tail here. You can see a ship here. I like the little design around the rim of the base there. That looks super cool. I dig that. Obviously the water splashes here look awesome. And it looks like they had this kind of glued in there and then took it apart to ship it. So maybe they took pictures of it or something like that. But that just fits in just like that. And that is your awesome dragon mini. Very, very cool. I love the upside down ship. That's all like cracked and broken and stuff like that. You don't often see a ship broken like that. The spikes here are cool. I'm not seeing anything that doesn't look like it couldn't be in the final version of it. So I'm not too concerned with anything there. No small, like weird design choices that are going to have to be thickened up or anything like that. It's already multi-party even like this. The scales look fantastic. They have really good depth, so that will transfer really well. The texture on the wings looks really good also. I dig that. Yeah, all the points look thick enough here. That looks good. The ship sails look fantastic. I really like those. I think they did a good job on that. The ship itself too. And honestly, it fits together really well also, I must say. Yeah, just really cool. Again, I love the fact that he has the ship upside down. I'll flip it over just to see the top part of that ship also not doing so well. And so the mouth looks good. The whole head does. Yeah, he's cool. I like him. I'm a fan. And the water effect, very nice. If you were to paint this, if you want even to get like the froth on the waves and stuff, it would look awesome. I don't know if that came really well into there. It could be kind of hard to see, but it is really good texture. All right. Now we do have some smaller minis here as well. I want to make sure to get out. I think these are the 4 characters. So it looks like, at least for the prototype, all of the other enemies are going to be standees, which is totally fine. Now, are they going to offer a standee version? I would imagine they wouldn't waste time making the standee without it, but ultimately that is for them to decide. It's really a business decision versus anything else, right? But for now, we got the 4 minis here for the heroes, and then of course the very, very cool dragon. All right. All right, so now I have these here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because these are, obviously a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so these are super cool. I really, really like the bases. They're all kind of textured here. Not sculpted so much as just textured, but the texture looks good. I love the boots. They're like broken and, you can see the fabric of them, and they have this big rim here. That's a lot of fun. There's some motion here with the fabric as he kind of moves around. The magic looks good in his hand. I really like the sleeves with all the texture there. The hat looks really cool. Looking at the face a little bit closer, that looks super awesome. It looks like he has one eye missing, which is perfect. Love the hair coming out, and obviously the fire sword looks cool as well. This is filled in, at least here for now. Again, I don't know if it will be in the final version or not, but for now that is artificially filled in. And yeah, no, it looks great. This, it looks like it may have been a 3D print because you can see the little dots here from the supports, right? So this is probably 3D printed resin, and then they put a primer on it. This one I don't think was, and this may have been cast, but again, perhaps not, not sure. Hard to tell. Oh, you know what? No, I can see it right there with the color shift there. So yeah, this is an early production model there, and then these are 3D printed. No, it looks great. Again, love the rim of the hat. It looks like it comes to a point quite nice. Pretty happy with that as well. All right, moving on to her. Very fancy mini here. That is for sure. I can tell you right now, this obviously needs to be thickened up, or it needs to be ABS. Pretty much one or the other, but it's definitely a little skinny there, and it is a little freeform. In fact, it'll need to be ABS. Even if it's connected to the hair here, which it's not, it would need to be here. So really your whole, it's probably this hand plus this. And you can cut this off right here, make this ABS, and the rest PVC ABS mix. This magic thing here with like the swirls and spikes and stuff, super cool. And then the swirl here going around and then up again, also very, very cool. Her skirt, by the way, the like design on it, very, very nice. It looks like, at least for now, it's more noticeable in the back, this little kind of embroidery versus here. I like the fact that, she is still a pirate captain, so she's got like satchels and stuff like that, and like a almost like a bandolier kind of belt vest thing going on and stuff. The flowy sleeves, also very cool. And just overall the pose, looking sideways, looking towards where she's kind of holding out her magic, is very nice as well, instead of just facing straight forward. Definitely like that. All right, next up we have this lady, and again, she looks super cool. I love the sword. It is filled in here again. And then she has this other sword here. So two swords. Really cool looking boots. I definitely dig those. Looks like extra belts on her like legs and stuff. The hat with like a little frill up here looks really cool. I dig that. She's got a lot of like embroidery and extra stuff here. You can kind of see the art, by the way, of what we're looking at here, right? So we're looking at this one right here. So see how she has all this stuff here? That's kind of what I'm talking about there. So that's really cool. I dig that. Yeah, and again, the magic looks cool. I like the magic. I love the fact that the arm is resting on the sword too. That's also neat. And then the final one here is the striker. Again, great pose here when it comes to the cape being swooshed out like that. Obviously, he has the like trench coat kind of bottom part as well, so that looks good. The texture here is different, and I really like that. I like that it's a little bit different. The hair looks great. The hat is fantastic. Love the little feathers in the hat. The fingers are not out. They're more like a fist. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I understand why they didn't do it, especially for the scale. But yeah, no, it looks great. Again, leg pose is super cool. Love the foot being put up like that and then kind of angled to the side here. It looks very realistic. Overall, quite nice. And again, the blade, maybe a little bit thick, a little bit dull, but not too bad. And again, with what this is made out of right now, I think that makes sense too. Otherwise, all the different detail on his clothing, different belts and sacks of stuff and all. Just everything looks really, really good. Even the face in there looks great. Looks really, really cool. Now, if we were to do a little bit of a comparison here on size, the size is actually pretty on point. So as you can see here, it's pretty much the exact same size. It's not the same character there, mind you, but the whole point there was to kind of show, yep, these are about how big they would be. So when you're facing off against a dragon, zoom out a little bit, dragon takes up all the space, and you are this big fighting against him, which is kind of fun. Now, obviously, the dragon's even bigger, right? I mean, you're about as big as the boat here, right? But still, the scale definitely lets you know you're fighting a big baddie. Very cool. All right, guys, that is Tanares Expeditions. Central Sea is the new standalone, small kind of expansion style of this Expeditions here in the Tanares universe with a lot of the same rules. Looks really fun. Again, the campaign is linked down in the description below. Subscribe if you'd like to see more stuff just like this. Obviously, I'll be covering the campaign and let you know my thought about that and a little bit when it's live. So stay tuned for that. Guys, have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye, guys.